going to do a couple of songs. I may have to hunt Kris here in a minute, but I've got the Pilgrim, Chapter 33 by Kristofferson, which I think is one of his better songs. It really turns into poetry. And you should all go listen to these as songs after you hear them read as lyric. The Pilgrim, Chapter 33. See him wasted on the sidewalk, in his jacket and his jeans, wearing yesterday's misfortunes like a smile. Once he had a future, full of money, love, and dreams, which he spent like they was going out of style. But he keeps right on a-changing, for the better or the worse, searching for a shrine he's never found, never knowing if believing is a blessing or a curse, or if the going up was worth the coming down. He has tasted good and evil in your bedrooms and your bars, and he's traded in tomorrow for today, running from his devils, Lord, reaching for the stars, losing all his loves along the way. But if this world keeps right on turning, for the better or the worse, all he ever gets is older and round, from the rocking of the cradle to the rolling of the hearse. The going up was worth the coming down. He's a poet, he's a picker, he's a prophet, he's a pusher, he's a pilgrim and a preacher and a problem when he's stoned. He's a walking contradiction, partly truth and partly fiction, taking every wrong direction on his lonely way back home. There's a lot of wrong directions on that lonely way back home. That describes like 75% of my friends. And I think it's he's been asked who that's about. Is it about Johnny Cash? And he said, yeah, and him and about another half a dozen others, Jerry Jeff Walker, and what he never really added in there was, I'm pretty sure it's also about himself. You can't quite dodge that bullet. I've got a Jimmy Buffett song here I want to cover too, because Buffett's a genius. And if you don't listen to Jimmy Buffett, you have problems. And this is one of the absolute best. It's called Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes. I took off for a weekend last month just to try and recall the whole year. All of the faces and all of the places, wondering where they all disappeared. I didn't ponder the question too long. I was hungry and went out for a bite. Ran into a chum with a bottle of rum, and we wound up drinking all night. It's those changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes, nothing remains quite the same. With all of our running and all of our cunning, if we couldn't laugh, we would all go insane. Reading departure signs in some big airport reminds me of the places I've been. Visions of good times that brought so much pleasure makes me want to go back again. If it suddenly ended tomorrow, I could somehow adjust to the fall. Good times and riches and son of a bitches, I've seen more than I can recall. It's those changes in attitudes, changes in latitudes. Nothing remains quite the same. With all of our running and all of our cunning, if we couldn't laugh, then we would all go insane. And there's another verse or two, but that's good enough right there. I mean, how can a guy come up with good times and riches and son of a bitches if we can't? I've seen more than I care to recall. It ticks me off. That line was in me. I could have written it. It would have made me the money that it made him, maybe. But that is a great, great, great song. This one is one of my absolute favorite songs, Against the Wind by Bob Seeger. It seems like yesterday, but it was long ago. Janie was lovely. She was the queen of my nights, there in the darkness with the radio playing low. The secrets that we shared, the mountains that we moved, caught like a wildfire out of control, till there was nothing left to burn and nothing left to prove. And I remember what she said to me, how she swore that it never would end. I remember how she held me oh so tight. Wish I didn't know now what I didn't know then. Against the wind, we were running against the wind. We were young and strong, we were running against the wind. The years rolled slowly past, and I found myself alone, surrounded by strangers I thought were my friends. I found myself further and further from home, and I guess I lost my way. There were oh so many roads I was living to run and running to live, never worrying about playing or even how much I owed, breaking all the rules that wouldn't bend. I began to find myself searching for shelter against the wind. I found myself seeking shelter again and again against the wind. Well, those drifters' days are past me now. I've got so much more to think about. Deadlines and commitments. What to leave in. What to leave out. Against the wind. I'm still running against the wind. I'm older now, but still running against the wind. Well, I'm older now and still running against the wind. There's a t-shirt I need. But those are some really, really outstanding songs. I got Kris's shirt on. I was planning on reading I Feel Like Hank Williams tonight, but somehow or other I have misplaced a copy of that, so that will have to be saved for a later date.